I could get.
Okay,
You
so
ready?
lesson 1 of Khan Academy. What is programming? Intro to JS, drawing and animation. Here we go. And you can put you should be able to put your headphones in, Mom. Should be fine.
Okay, let's try this. Okay.
Hi, welcome to programming. If you've never learned to program before, you might be wondering what programming actually is. Well, when we write a program, we're giving the computer a series of commands that kind of look like a weird form of English. You can think of a computer as a very obedient dog, listening to your every command and doing whatever you tell it to do. So what's so cool about programming? Well, it really depends on what you think is cool. Because as it turns out, you can use programming for almost everything. Programs control robots that can take care of patients. And my favorite, robots that can roam around Mars and look for water on the surface. Programs help self-driving cars know which way to turn, which is pretty important. Programs help doctors cure diseases by processing huge amounts of medical data. Programs can be really fun games, like Doodle Jump, Angry Birds, Minecraft. Programs make it possible for Pixar to put out their awesome 3D animated movies, and for movies like Harry Potter to have such cool special effects. What's your favorite movie? I bet that a computer helped make it somehow. Programs are behind the websites and the apps that you use every day, all the time, like Google Maps and Wikipedia and YouTube. And of course, where you are now, Khan Academy. Here, on Khan Academy, you'll learn how to write JavaScript programs to make drawings, animations, and games. And that will be a great start towards creating whatever you're imagining in your head. I know it might be hard to see how a drawing program relates to programs for robots or curing diseases, but believe it or not, the same basic concepts are used by pretty much every programmer in every program. Once you learn to program JavaScript, you'll be able to learn other programming languages much more easily. Now you just gotta keep going.
McDonald's, most of
All
them.
right.
Yeah, most of them are still.
The Taiwan tea place, the Taiwan
I'm
restaurant
getting a
on the
lot of
street.
background noise.
Okay, they are open.
Yeah, because they're talking in here. Sorry.
Oh well, all right. So learning programming on Khan Academy. This is introducing you to their little editor thing that they have, which maybe as we progress in the future, we might not be programming in this editor. We might be using a different editor eventually because their editor can be kind of annoying, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm just muting so that we're not hearing a conversation in the background. But okay, so they're just explaining that they have like walkthroughs, and then they have an editor, and there's a feature in the editor. They do step-by-step coding challenges, yada yada yada. So we'll be taking a look at that. When you're ready to go on to the next thing, you can scroll down and so they're just showing you some animated graphical images of examples of their editor and stuff like that. Okay, on to the next section. So this is the first lesson. I guess it's a video. It's a code along video. It's a video that actually plays like a video version of the editor.
Let's begin programming by making a face with circles. To draw a circle, we need to use the ellipse command. So I'll type ellipse in this editor. After I write a command name in a program, I always follow it with parentheses and a semicolon. But I don't see an ellipse. The right side is still that boring white canvas. Well, there's no ellipse yet because I need to give more information about where to draw the ellipse and what size it should be. Since I am drawing a face, I want this ellipse to be smack in the center of the canvas and pretty big. I'll type 4 numbers in that'll make that happen, and we'll explore why they work. Ta-da! A face. Okay, so this first number, what does it control? I can change it by clicking on it and using the number scrubber that pops up. Watch, it's moving across the canvas. So this number controls how far the ellipse is from the left side of the canvas. What about the second number? If I change this, the ellipse moves up and down the canvas. Okay. On to the third number. Changing this makes the ellipse wider and thinner. All right, nice. Finally, the fourth. What else can we change? The height, making the ellipse taller and shorter, kind of squishy. Let's make it taller again. Okay, now you know what all of our numbers do. The first 2 control the position of the ellipse, and the second 2 control the size of the ellipse. We call these numbers the parameters to the ellipse command. And actually, we usually call a command a function. So here, in our program, we're calling the ellipse function and passing it 4 parameters to change how it draws the ellipse. When we describe the parameters of a function, we usually give them nicknames so that we don't have to say first and second. Let's go through the nicknames for these parameters. This first parameter, remember that it controls this. We call this parameter x because we think of x as the direction that goes across the canvas.
You can also just scroll down and read the documentation about
0
the ellipse.
and ends at 400. So that's our x. The second parameter, we call it y because it controls this direction, and we think of y as the direction that goes down the canvas. That's y. And it also starts at 0 up here in the corner and goes to 400 down at the bottom. So that's x and y. We call the third parameter width because it controls the width. And the fourth parameter we call height. Okay, so now we understand what our code is doing and why it's doing that. Let's write some more code. Well, we have a face. It needs a mouth so that it can eat things. I'll make a mouth by typing a second ellipse underneath. I'm going to use the same x as the one before it because I want it to be in the center of the face, but I do want it lower down on the face. So I'll try 250 for the y. For the size, I want it smaller than the face. Let me try 110. Whew, okay, it's a little too small. I'm just gonna widen that up a bit. All right. Next, we need eyes because a face without eyes is pretty creepy. Let's start with the left eye. It should be closer to the left-hand side than the center. So I'll try 150. And it should also be closer to the top. So I'll try 150 for Y as well. And they should be small, perfect circles. So I'll try 30, 30. Okay. I don't see my eye yet. What's wrong? Ah, here's the issue. Oh no's guy, our error buddy, pops up and is telling me that something is wrong with the code. I am missing a semicolon. Where am I missing it? Line 5, the line of code that I just wrote. I forgot my semicolon. Classic mistake. I'll just add it back in. And here we go. We have our I. Now, you will probably see oh no's a lot when you're getting started because this is your first time writing code. And it takes time to get used to the syntax, making sure you're spelling things right and using the right parentheses and always putting that semicolon there. So don't worry if you see him a lot. You'll get used to him. All right, now, finally, this is not a cyclops, so we need one more eye. Since our next eye is pretty similar to our left eye, I'm just going to copy this line of code and paste it, and then move the X, and there you go, beautiful. My face is finished, and it might be a little bit hungry too. Well, now you're going to try drawing some circles with code yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
So the gist of this, so real quick, if you scroll down and you click on the documentation tab,
Oh, okay.
then you'll be able to see there's all the different shapes you can
Okay.
do. This is just like a cheat sheet for Processing.js functions. And there's a longer version of this on the Processing.js website, but like since you are not a middle schooler and you have a brain, and you know how to use it, you are more than capable of looking up documentation if you.
So am I supposed to type? Yeah, I'm supposed to type directly on this screen.
You can, but you're not supposed to type on this screen. This screen is just a video code editor.
Oh.
You're supposed to go on to the next.
Oh, so I can't make a food to put in the guy's mouth.
You can if you click the spin off button.
Oh, I see.
If you click the spin off button, and then you're going to spin off a project and you can save it. You can be like circles practice 1 or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. And then, so this has spun off the project onto your own project, which you can save.
Okay.
The other one was in the editor. The other one was just like a playable editor. Like they have a really cool feature where they can record videos in the editor and then play the recordings. But you don't want to code in that, because if you ever play the editor, it will delete all your code. So this is a project on Khan Academy, and you can either save your code on here on your Khan Academy account, or you can copy and paste this code into a notepad file or whatever to save it for later. Right? So you see on the bottom right corner it says save.
Yeah.
If you click that,
will it give me a choice of where to save it, or it just saves
it on your account.
on the website?
It saves it on your account on Khan Academy.
Okay.
So you now we're in a project. You can add more stuff to the project if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've lost my menu that was on the other screen, so I gotta go back. Oops.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Can you place that order adjacent to user correctly? So that's.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
Well, that little menu that they had for how to program the different shapes is no longer there. So now.
Well, it's at the bottom. You got to click documentation tab.
Oh, I see. Okay. Aha! Shapes. Oh, I clicked something and now it's completely freaking out.
No, it's just showing you an example of the rectangle
Okay,
function in Processing.js, which can
okay.
draw rectangles or
Rect.
rectangles with rounded edges.
Okay. Rect. Oops, I'm trying to type in this now. Rect. I'm gonna put it lower than the mouth. So I'm gonna put it.
Honestly, the specific values don't matter that much because you have the number scrubbers, so you can adjust them. So you can just
Okay.
put in like 10, 10, 10, 10, and then you can adjust the position
Oh, I see.
sizing with the number scrubber. That's the faster way to do it. Just
Oops, I
10,
forgot the comma.
10, comma 10, comma 10, comma 10, and then boom. And then close parenthesis and
Parentheses and semicolon.
and you see the little square at the top
Then you.
corner, right?
Oh, that's where it went. Okay.
So now you
So
use the number scrubbers, you can make it larger, change the position. So that's X, Y, width, height. So that's the X position, so you can change it. See how it's moving it over?
I get it to really move, and it's.
There you go.
Okay, now the Y. This is gonna be a sandwich going in the guy's mouth. If you can ever
Okay.
get it positioned properly. And then get this. This is silly. Oh, I gotta reposition the
X.
the X, yeah. I went too far to the.
Eat the bread.
Make it a little bigger. Make it a little thicker.
And then you can copy this rectangle and paste it below and make different layers and stuff if you want.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I could
You can just
make
copy.
it a thinner piece of bread, and like copy the code, right?
Yep,
And
you
then
can just
paste
copy
it.
the code. And
Yeah.
as we go on into the lessons, we're going to learn more and more efficient ways of reusing code, making code.
Yeah, I need to
modular.
change
So
the position on this
I
piece.
change the Y position so that it'll show up. There you go.
There's a sandwich. Doesn't
Cool.
have anything in the middle. It's just dead bread.
It's
Bread
just,
and butter.
it's you know,
I can make some lettuce sticking out by putting a bunch of triangles in between.
you can put
so-
like a green line or something. Or
Oh, you can make colors in there?
yeah, you can make colors. They go over making colors, but if you scroll down on the documentation, you should see the colors notes for doing colors.
Okay.
It's the fill. It's going to be the FILL function.
Oh, I see. Let's see here. I'm not done, Mr. Squiggly Man. I need more parameters for the triangle.
Yeah. So just do x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So it's the 3 coordinate points of the.
Yeah. Let's do 10 color. And
Oh, nice.
oh, look at that gigantic triangle. Okay. So now I have to fix
So just
this.
yeah, the x2, y2 need to be larger.
Yeah, x2, y2. All
So
right.
bring it down. Bring it way down.
How do I get that upper left-hand corner?
And you got to increase
That
the
the
value.
X3?
You got to vastly increase the value of X and Y3 by like a lot. So yeah, bring it over.
Oop! I can't get rid of that.
Or you
I
can,
need to
or you can
lower
manually
these
type
other things. This is a pain.
well, if you just stop and think about it for a second, right? Like you just enter in a much larger value for the second X and Y value and the third X and Y value. It's gonna do what you want it to.
Okay, now it's starting to look more like a lettuce leaf sticking out.
So that 38, turn it into
Yeah.
like 300 or something. You can just type.
Okay. Yeah, get the triangle going the other way. Oh well. Giant lettuce going into his mouth. Why is it not?
And then you need to probably make
I
it.
still need to move it down between the bread.
Right. So Mom, okay.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
top left corner is 0. The bottom right
Yeah.
corner is 400, 400. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know.
if you're shooting for in between the two rectangles, then
Mhm.
all of your points are gonna need to be between like the bread, the edges of the
Yeah.
bread. So they're all gonna be around 300 something. There you go. Yeah, and then bring it down more. Yeah,
Okay.
stretch it out. Right.
All right. So now that's one piece of lettuce hanging out, or cheese, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then the
There-
next one, I just have to position it a little farther to the right. And the next one, a little farther to the right.
Yeah, but the main point is the main point of this lesson is just they're introducing you to the ellipse function. You've introduced
Mhm.
yourself to the rectangle function and the triangle
Mhm.
function. And
Okay.
you've been introduced to the fact that the top left corner is the 0, 0 origin point, and going down and to the right increases the
Yeah.
y value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like the starting point of Processing.js. So we can go on to the next lesson if you want, or if you feel like.
Okay. I should stop here because
Yeah. you can stop here.
especially if you wanted somebody to get your dong things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cool. So this is the end of the first video. All right.
Yes. Cheers.